Oh, yesterday session. Hello. Okay. Yes, very informative, right? Yesterday. So you have a view of mangrove ecosystem and also its biodiversity. So today we will go to water quality of mangrove ecosystem. Okay, okay. So Maya, can we start? Okay, we will start our session today. Maya, you have to enable participant to screen sharing.
Can you try it? Akak?
Cannot.
Can you try display again?
Cannot. Host disable participation.
Okay, wait. Okay, can you try again?
All right. Okay. So we will start our session. First, next sessions relating to water quality in language regions. And I believe that most of you are looking forward to know more about water quality in language regions. For you to get information for your project. Okay, let's start our session, and first we will look back what are mangrove. So mangrove, what are mangrove? Most of us know that mangrove live along sheltered coastline, which is diverse and most productive ecosystem, which is related as ecologically connected between terrestrial zone and seaward zone. Okay, so it mangrove react as coastal blue carbon with natural buffer reactions but natural buffer reactions including to break wave, especially for tsunamis, and also react as sediment trapping to reduce coastal erosion in the coastal areas. Okay, terrestrial trees, including mangrove, absorb can absorb excess carbon dioxide gases, and mangrove can absorb higher than um, terrestrial forest, 40% higher. So that's why we need to conserve our mangrove ecosystem to limit the excess carbon dioxide gases in the atmosphere. Okay, so let's see to water. What are the mangrove ecosystem services? And of course, mangrove um, services to human livelihood, because more than millions people living in mangrove areas. Okay, and the second one for coastal protection. For coastal protections, especially for sedimentation, to protect mangrove from the coastal erosion, and also to break waters if flooding or tsunami. Then other services, fisheries resources, because mangrove uh, support lots of fish, which is more than thousands of fish species can be found in mangrove ecosystems because of high nutrients and high nutrients in the mangrove ecosystem itself. Uh, for climate regulation also, since the mangrove react as carbon storage potential, which is the strong carbon storage in soil. So the CO2 release by global mangrove loss will increase if we uh, uh, if mangrove being deforested. Mangrove also reacted for water filtration, especially when the high rain. So water from upstream will flush away to downstream to water. So mangrove react to filter the effluents, most of the effluents from upstream to to out to go out to the seawater. So when mangrove filter the trees, so we can conserve our ecosystem, seawater ecosystem. And last one is for nursery grounds, and of course, lots of biodiversity in mangrove ecosystems, because most of uh, animals uh, do breeding grounds in mangrove ecosystems. Right. There is types of mangrove which is linked to the water, which is fringe mangrove, riverine mangrove, and basin mangrove. So fringe mangrove, usually thin mangrove that found along the shoreline, um, which is politically also to riverine mangrove. Most industrious mangrove communities are located in riverine mangrove, which is there is high productivity with significant amounts of organic matters in the riverine mangrove. Okay. So next, relation between fringe mangrove, which is near to water, riverine mangrove, and basin mangrove. So the water flooding from seawater link between basin and fringe mangrove. Salinity of flood water from fringe mangrove to riverine due to high tides, and also riverine to basin mangrove by flooding from the upstream. So how mangrove improve? How what are the uh, water quality in mangrove regions? So we need to know how mangrove improve water quality. Why we need to conserve our mangrove ecosystem, and also why we need to not to clear all mangrove. We need to conserve. We need to save our mangrove, because mangrove roots hold sediments can hold sediments, so it can reduce erosion. The complex root system to filter nitrates and phosphates carried out by rivers and streams, and also to support nursery ground from various organisms. So water quality. There are three component of water quality, which is physical, chemical, and biological. So for physical, especially for temperature, whether high, hot or cold water, the color to the color, taste, and also odor of the water sample. So this to if we if we discuss if we view this the water itself, we will know whether the water either the pollution is occur or not. So chemical which is involved assessing water parameters. Um, so water parameters, example, use of oxygen, carbon dioxide, pH, and so on. And biological, the presence of condition and numbers of types of organisms, which is uh, the examples of the components of water quality. So the biological part, bacteria, plankton, and fishes, which provide important information about the health of aquatic ecosystem by the occurrence of certain species. Because uh, different organism has specific conditions to live in, whether low pH or high pH, low temperature or high temperature. So that will that will indicate the water the water quality. Yeah. Here are some views of how water quality connected with mangrove ecosystem. Water is this is a riverine mangrove ecosystem. So the water of mangrove. Okay. So the water in mangrove riverine normally flash from upstream, flash from upstream, brings a lot of nutrients, effluents, and also brings pollutions um, to coastal area. So soils in this area um, store nutrients, restore nutrients to the nitrogen, phosphorus, and also proteins, and it will be used by bacteria, be decomposed by bacteria. Okay. So pH, salinity, and conductivity. This is the conductivity of water. So there is a water clarity and water. So if we can see here, you can see if there is no there is a molecular deforestation. So sediment reflux will cause the water quality will increase. Okay, because of erosions. So this is a component of water quality. So this difference between water quality and also polluted water. So when there is a good water quality, there will be a lot of species, biodiversity, diverse organism will come since there's lots of food source. Okay. What happens if there is water pollution happen? If no mangrove trees, there will be erosion. So the erosion will cause the increase of water turbidity and the nutrients also increase. Nutrients from human and the increase of turbidity will reduce the release of oxygen and also pH will increase. So what happened? So the phytoplankton, the phytoplankton is the basic components of food web in ecosystem. So the phytoplankton will be blue, and if fishes bloom caused by toxin species, harmful algal blooms, so it will affect our ecosystem. So this is one of the harmful algal bloom cases in Malaysia, which is happened in Johor. What happened when the water quality become worse? So the specific species which is bring toxin harmful to environment will increase, will bloom and cause fish kills. So this is fish kill. You can see that lots of fish die in a floating cage. So this is the species which are responsible for these cases. This happened in southern part of Central Malaysia, Johor in 2015. Lots of lots of lots of fishes die and also it costs a lot of money, right? So that's why it is very important for us to conserve our mangrove ecosystem to for to to prevent all this to happen to our ecosystem, right? So we'll share about our largest mangrove ecosystem in Malaysia. So we have Mata Mangrove Forest Reserve Perak. The Mata Mangrove Forest Reserve Perak located in Taiping, Perak, which is the largest mangrove forest in peninsula with approximately 40,000 hectares. Right? Okay. So you can see the map, peninsula map, about half of Perak coastal area of Negeri Perak in Malaysia. There is covered by this mangrove. Okay, so this is the overview of Matang Mangrove Reserve, and actually the Matang Mangrove Reserve is the best mini mangrove forest in Malaysia, in Asia. Okay. You can see very pristine area, large mangrove trees here. So this is the activities in the Matang Mangrove, which is mangrove clearing. Okay, mangrove clearing is for timber for timber and source industries in Matang Perak. So as you can see that some mangrove are very large area. So certain area will be gazetted for mangrove clearing and will be led to led to led to what we call it for the productions of mangrove. They will cut only 30 years above mangrove, the age of mangrove, 30 years and above. So some area will be cut, some area will be preserved. Surface landing area in some mangrove also there is a lot of human settlements and also aquaculture for fish cultures support our fish industries in Malaysia, also fishing road and also fishing because the Mataman have a lot of have uh, diverse fish there. So this is our science matrix for analysis of water quality. Proposals, there is sample collections, procedures. So this is a water turbidity meter that we use to read the water turbidity samples for identification, identification of biological components and also analysis of the physical components. Some of physical components include nutrients, such as nitrogen and phosphate, nitrate silicate. We like using bottle. And some sampling equipment for analyze water quality, YSI multiparameter. YSI multiparameter will read temperature, total dissolved solids, conductivity, pH, and dissolved oxygen. So random water sampler, we use collect water to analyze the nutrient components such as nitrogen and phosphorus. So the plankton net we use to collect zooplankton samples to identify the species occurred for to indicate the area. Laboratory analysis to analyze the diversity and density of phytoplankton because a more diverse phytoplankton species indicate good health and also certain species occurred in the area also indicate growth and also can indicate the terms of pollution in the water. So for nutrients, for nutrients analysis, phosphate, nitrates, nitrogens, and silicates, we read using these machines, spectrophotometer. So this is some species that found in this house system. So you can see here phytoplankton
Fareha,
and zooplankton.
sorry to interrupt.
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I hear.
Okay. Your voice
hear me?
little bit. Yeah. Your voice not clear.
Not clear. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, now okay. Maya? Okay, do you hear me, everyone?
It's a little bit distorted.
All right. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can get what I sharing today. So this is some species phytoplankton. Okay. So it is important for us to protect our natural ecosystem, especially mangrove. Not only help preserve biodiversity, it also help preserve a vital resource for local communities, which is us. Okay, thank you for your attention. Okay, is there any question?
There's one question from Shahmi, and he asked how mangrove prevents the flood.
Okay, how mangrove prevent flood? Right. Mangrove ecosystem. Mangrove trees. As you see here, as you can see here, mangrove roots. Mangrove roots strongly um, how how prevent flood. How mangrove prevent flood. The roots of mangrove and the canopy of mangrove will reduce the force of upcoming water wave from the coastal area will break by mangrove roots, trunks, and canopy, and it will reduce the flooding since it breaks the mangrove wave. Okay. Because mangrove area roots um, retain sediments from retain sediments and prevents erosion. So due to the root structures of mangrove, it attached to the sediments, strongly attached to the sediments, and so when there is a lot of mangrove biodiversity, mangrove ecosystem in the coastal area also, so it prevents flood to communities nearby the mangrove. Am I answering your question?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, I read one more question here. What are disease that cause mangrove ecosystem because of low quality of water? What are disease? Okay, right. So low water quality. Low water quality. Um, Always related to the component in the water itself. So low water quality did not cause don't impact the mangrove ecosystem. Mangrove ecosystem itself is actually preventing the water to be low, the water quality to be low. Okay, because when there's a mangrove ecosystem, there's a mangrove communities in the coastal area. So most of pollutions come from the upstream, which is brings through streams, brings from upstream to downstream to rivers and streams, which is from upstream. We know that there is lots of activities from humans. There is a factory, there is influence from agriculture, and so there's lots of nutrients, phosphorus and nitrogens brings by water to the coastal ecosystem. So mangrove help to prevent this influence to to cause low quality of water in the coastal ecosystem, because the sediment in mangrove ecosystem will filter this water, because the effluent will be used by the tree for growth. Okay, all right. So low quality did not impact the mangrove ecosystem, but mangrove ecosystem help to prevent low quality of water. So that's why we need to conserve our mangrove. So next question, what is the ideal temperature for mangrove to grow? What is the ideal temperature for mangrove to grow? Mangrove mainly found in temperate in the tropical areas. With humid and environment conditions. So the ideal temperature, there is no specific ideal temperature for mangrove to grow, but mostly in some tropical regions, we can find a mangrove ecosystem. Okay. So temperature did not impact to mangrove. It impacts to the biological components in the mangrove. So because mangroves are part marine food web, so if there is too high temperature or too low temperature, basically more too high temperature will cause ecosystem ecosystem deterioration. So those species that occurred, maybe some species cannot tolerate with the high temperature. So there's less species, especially from water, because most of because phytoplankton, which is a good indicator for water quality, are the primary producer in mangrove ecosystem. So if the primary producer of the mangrove food web is low, so it will disturb all the food web itself. Okay. So next question, usually what is the pH for this water quality? pH in mangrove, normally we collected samples about uh, above 7 to 8 to 9. Not acidic water, more to alkaline water. And so alkaline water is very good for mangrove. But when the acidic water happen, so usually acidic water um, will trigger to harmful algal blooms. So it will cause fish kills, and some of fish also cause can infect the human when we eat fish or a shellfish from the water. Okay, how do shrimp help mangrove trees? Next question, how do shrimp help mangrove trees? How do shrimp help mangrove trees? Sorry, I cannot answer that question. Okay, next question, will too much plankton make the water area acidic? No, too much plankton not make the water area acidic. The acidic water can trigger plankton to bloom, harmful algae blooms, meaning that the harmful species, which the species can infect to the ecosystem, which cause fish kills or infect the human when human eat the shellfish or fish. So the acidic water will cause that, will give the impact to the to too much plankton. Okay, so too much plankton will not make the water area acidic. It's the conditions of water itself from the pollutions, especially from pollutions. So thank you for the question. All right. Any other questions? Yes. From your experience, what do you think? What main issues that makes our mangrove in Malaysia in dangerous situation? Of course, if we want to talk about the main issues that makes our mangrove in Malaysia in dangerous situations is climate change. Climate change. So climate change cause climate change, which is a global warming and excess carbon dioxide. The excess carbon dioxide which cause the climate global warming. When the global warming happens, so there's increased temperature in the atmosphere. So more water being there, uh, more water will cause will cause a lot of rain and storms to happen. So mangrove do protect our ecosystem, our environment by absorbing those excess carbon. But too much carbon will cause global warming and trigger to storm, overflooding. So what cause overflooding? When global warming, there is flooding happens. So storm will disrupt our mangrove ecosystem. So the main issue here is the climate change. Okay, all right. Does too much plankton affect the water quality? Yes, of course. Too much plankton is depend. Plankton with diverse species, or too much plankton with low species but high density. Meaning too much phytoplankton um, usually indicate the low quality of water. Okay. Water means if there is a pollution, um, if there is a pollution, okay, okay, based on my experience, if there is species which will indicate low quality will increase the number of species, phytoplankton species will increase. So when the species which indicate the polluted water, indicate low quality of water occurred in the area, so it is a signal, actually signal for us that the ecosystem become low. Okay. Right. Okay, thank you, Maya, for um for your comments here. Nicole. Okay. Is there any questions? Okay, no question? So I think there is no more question here. Okay, so thank you for your time for sharing session today. Thank you everyone, and I hope that I can give some information for your project, and good luck for your project, and I hope the best for all of you, and thanks so much for your time today. Okay, right, thank you. So we'll end our session today. Okay.